Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Friday. Welcome back to Up and Adam Channel 2. We have some ish to talk about, and it goes a little something like this. We got some OC and then some Leah and some OC and so I gotta stop with the espresso. That's what I'm like, what is going on with me? I feel crazy today. It's the espresso. I even had this little 5-hour energy shot. I've never actually taken them. I did a long time ago, but like I was like, do I need more of this? No, I don't. I need to chill the hell out with that. Anyways, we're back to talk about Leah McSweeney and this court date with Andy Cohen, but also my cat just fell down the stairs. I just heard it. Um, and also Katie Janela and the guy who was a part of that lawsuit is now speaking out. So we're gonna get into all of that. I say let's start right here, shall we? Yeah. Awkward. So, thank you to page 6 for the exclusive. Leah McSweeney faces off in court against Andy Cohen's lawyers in dramatic first hearing over Bravo lawsuit. Now, there was a dramatic Real Housewives throwdown, and this was just yesterday, but not a single glass of Pinot Grigio was hurled. Clever, page 6. A New York court heard oral arguments from an attorney representing Andy Cohen, Bravo, and its parent company, NBC Universal, among others, about why it should toss the suit by Leah McSweeney. Leah McSweeney, who is a recovering alcoholic, has claimed that the network intentionally tried to make her fall off the wagon to make more ratings grabbing TV. But lawyers for Andy Cohen say that the court should throw out the lawsuit because the producer's behavior is protected by the freedom of speech, protected by the U.S. Constitution. Attorney Adam Levin of Mitchell, Selberg, Knepp argued in Manhattan Supreme Court that interactions between McSweeney and the producers, even those off camera, were all part of their attempts to craft a message to the viewers and are therefore protected by the First Amendment. Well, ain't that some shit? I didn't know that. Now, Judge Lewis J. Lehman pressed Levin on whether there were limits on producers, such as whether they could beat a cast member off camera so long as the intention was to have them behave a certain way on camera later. And he replied by explaining there were exceptions. However, Leah McSweeney's lawyer, Sarah Maltz of Adam and Maltz, pushed back, saying that courts have never said that the limits on free speech stopped at crime. You are not allowed to breach people's rights simply because you're pointing a camera at them. That's what she said during the hearing. There's a difference between crafting a message and making a show that you think people will watch. Now, the case is set to resume after Thursday as the defense requested that discovery in which each side can demand to see confidential messages and files belonging to the other in the case be put on hold until the judge has ruled on the motion to dismiss. Leah McSweeney appeared in court on Thursday wearing a gray power suit. You see her, black shirt, heels. She walked into the courthouse arm in arm with another woman who we don't know who this other woman is, but probably her friend. And Andy Cohen, meanwhile, was not present in the courthouse, but Leah McSweeney, who was on the show for 2 seasons, accused Andy and Bravo in her lawsuit filed in February of exploiting her alcoholism to boost ratings for the show. She claimed producers who were aware of her history of mental health and substance abuse issues would try to destabilize her when she refused to drink in hopes of an on-camera meltdown. Now, she also alleged that Andy Cohen would do the white powdery stuff with his favorite housewives and dole out professional favors to his employees turned party pals. She also claimed a different senior producer would send unsolicited photos of their genitalia to lower level production employees. She just came out with a bunch, huh? Now, in May, a Bravo spokesperson told Page 6 that Andy Cohen, whose rep had said that Leah McSweeney's allegations were false and a shakedown, had been cleared of any wrongdoing following an outside investigation. Leah McSweeney's attorneys questioned the authenticity of the probe, though stating that they didn't think it was real. But lawyer Gary Adelman said in a statement at the time, "How do you have an investigation without speaking with or to anyone? As far as we know, no one ever contacted our firm." He also added, "We look forward to reviewing all of the interviews, evidence, and final reports of the investigation that NBCU conducted and when we received them during the discovery phase of the lawsuit. But it was later that month where Andy Cohen's attorneys filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, arguing that the network never specifically tried to feature inebriated cast members on the Housewives franchise. You didn't have to, they were just drunk. They also alleged that the reality star claims sought to abridge defendants' First Amendment rights to tailor and adjust the message they wish to convey in their creative works, including through cast selection and other creative decisions. Now, Maltz, meanwhile, said in a response that the defendants' argument that they were essentially allowed to discriminate against their client was accurate. To agree with the defendants would be to essentially say that the creative industries are not subject to anti-discrimination and anti-retaliation laws, and that networks could engage in discrimination and retaliation with impunity, which is not the law. Leah McSweeney filed an amendment to her lawsuit in June in which she claimed that Andy Cohen retaliated against her by trying to blackball her from the entertainment industry and disparage her in the press. But at Thursday's hearing, both sides battled as to whether the letter Andy Cohen's lawyer sent to Leah and allegedly leaked to the press constituted an attempt to retaliate against Leah McSweeney for filing her lawsuit. Aside from Bravo and Andy Cohen, Leah McSweeney is also suing various producers, Shed Media, the production company behind RHOC and Ultimate Girls Trip, and its parent company, Warner Brothers. She's seeking an unspecified amount in damages and has insisted that she has good intentions for pursuing legal action. Yeah, to pay her bills. This lawsuit to me, and this is my freedom of speech, I don't know which way this is going to go. I think it's BS. I think it's a sham. I think her saying, they were trying to get me to drink and get up. Well, then I don't want to see your ass walk into a restaurant around people that have alcohol. I don't want to see you go to anything. I don't want to see you walk next to the cold section at Walmart where they have wine. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see you walk into the local little mini mart because they have champagne and wine. I don't want to see you go anywhere near a bar. I don't want to see you go anywhere near a gathering with your friends, social gathering that might have alcohol. It's just it's BS. And then the other things against Andy and like the producer allegedly sending naked photos and Andy allegedly doing these illegal substances, that doesn't even have anything to do with you. It's just trying to pile on onto this bullshit lawsuit, in my opinion. And I'm allowed to have an opinion. But let's move on, shall we? Now, the man who sued Katie Janela is speaking out after the lawsuit discussion at the reunion. Thank you to realityt.com. Obviously, we know that there was this lawsuit. And yeah. In Touch recently spoke to Sydney, looking for his side of the events. And spoiler alert, he's now coming for Katie. As for what went down, he claims that Katie was swerving all over the road, and he knows this because he was driving behind her the whole time. He also stated that Katie was texting while driving, and her unbuckled children were in the car. He turned his head in her direction, shaking it, while saying nothing, and the only thing that I did was I looked at her when we stopped at the light. He drove home, but Katie followed, and at his mailbox, she allegedly exited her vehicle and began cursing this man out. He told her that she was on his property, but in his words, she did not believe him. He was in his work van, which failed to match the vibes of his house. So in response, Katie said, "We'll see about that." And Katie then called the police, he claimed, communicating that Sydney was not allowing her to drive away. And when the officers arrived, they placed Sydney in handcuffs and took him to jail. And as he reportedly failed to follow their commands upon learning what transpired, however, they released Sydney from custody, dropping all charges while naming Katie as the aggressor. So Sydney then sued Katie, receiving a default judgment, and Katie failed to respond to the courts. Immediately after, Sydney tried to place a lien on her house in Florida, but he ran into issues, and he's now contacting a California attorney to collect on his judgment. Awkward! Okay, well, looks like we have a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go get ready for Hot Messy Topics. I love you guys. We'll see you in just a little bit. And don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed to Up and Adam channel too. And we'll see you super, super soon. Bye.